Hello everyone, hope you're doing alright. Today we're going to have a quick 5-minute guide on your Carnage Marauder. This is going to give you the very basics of what you need to know for the new 7.1 rotation with the new tactical, but if you want the full in-depth guide, go check out the other 20-minute long video. This is just going to be the quick 5-minute, I need to learn this spec right now before raid video guide. So without further ado, let's go jump right into it. Alright, here is a quick look at everything you need to know for your Carnage Marauder. I will have this image pinned down in the description below, so that way if you want to print it out and hang it up on your wall or just throw it up on the second screen, you totally can as you go through your Carnage Marauder. For your stats, alacrity like 1200, you want at least 4.14%. For accuracy and PvE, make sure you get that up to that 110%. But for only PvP, you only need 105% accuracy, then throw the rest into crit. For your legendaries, we're going to take the Dispatcher package and the Fearless Victor package. We went over this in the previous video. This is all you need to know. For Shard of Mortis is going to be our new tactical that we picked up. It's going to make our Blade Rush and our Massacre essentially give us stacks of Hyper, which makes us do 25% more crit and then refunds you Rage whenever you use a different ability. It's our new favorite thing. Here are all of our utility choices. The only real question here is what you take in this row. They are all perfectly viable. You can do whatever you want for you. Okay. Let's talk quickly about our rotation. For my brain, the new Carnage rotation works in 4 sections. First is the Berserk Ferocity window, which we put up in the major damage section. The Mass Massacre section, which is a whole bunch of Massacre spam. The Sad Ferocity window, which is, a less damaging ferocity. And then finally back to 30 stacks. Here is how it breaks down. In the Berserk Ferocity window, we're going to be using Berserk for their big alacrity stacks. Massacre, Ferocity, Massacre to make sure that we have our big Ferocity procs and our Massacre critical damage. Then we're going to use Vicious Throw and Devastating Blast for our big chunky burst damage. It's going to be huge, all right? For Mass Massacre, you can do Massacre, Battering Assault, Massacre, Massacre, Massacre. So 3 Massacres back to back to back. This is going to give us a whole bunch of crit chance here. Some people will use a Gourd here in this first Massacre spot. It's kind of up to you. Personally, I think it's much more simple to follow the Massacre, but do you. Next up, we have our Sad Ferocity window, which is going to be Ferocity, Gourd, Devastating Blast. This is kind of like our mini burst window. And then finally, we get our back to 30 stacks. We're going to use Ravage to make sure that we're not rage charging ourselves. We're going to use Battering Assault to get our rage back up. And then we go Massacre, Dual Saber Throw for the Dispatcher proc, and then back to Massacre. So how it's going to look, massive burst window with a Berserk Ferocity, Mass Massacre to kind of fill the void between that and our Sad Ferocity, and then back to 30 stacks. Let's hop quickly into game and see how that works before Duke loses his mind. There he goes. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to build 30 stacks of Fury using any regen ability, and then to open we're going to use Dual Saber Throw and then go right in with a Force Charge. So that'll give us enough rage to get through the rest of the rotation. So let's jump right in with a Dual Saber Throw, and then a charge into our Berserk, Massacre, Ferocity, Massacre, Vicious Throw, Devastating Blast. Now spam Massacre, Battering Assault, 1, 2, 3 Massacres into our small Ferocity window, and now we fill with Ravage, Battering Assault, Massacre, Dual Saber Throw, Massacre, begin again. Berserk Massacre, Ferocity Massacre, big burst window, and then Mass Massacre. 1, 2, 3 in a row, then Ferocity Gore for our Sad Ferocity window, and then we build back up to 30 stacks very quickly. The best piece of advice that I can give you is just sit at a dummy and do this over and over and over again until your fingers bleed. Once you figure out the actual rotation, it'll become a lot more natural to you to actually say, oh, I know what my abilities are doing now. It'll help you do a whole bunch of damage. So just do this over and over and over again until your fingers bleed. Once it starts making sense to you, then you can actually worry about, oh, what defensive cooldowns am I popping, etc., etc. It makes the whole spec a whole lot easier. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, conundrums, etc., let me know down in the comments section below. I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. But until then, just do this rotation over and over and over again until you have it down. So that's all I have for you today. Have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, conundrums? Let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Until then, ta-ta.